The No Fate channel checking in, and today I'm doing a quick review of the Boston Spartan Super out in Barre, Massachusetts. Normally the OCR Kings would be giving you a quick breakdown of the Boston Spartan Super. I know they had signed up for the race but had obligations that caused them to have to switch their races. So because they can't, I'm going to step in and try to do my best. However, if you guys are into obstacle course races, definitely check out the OCR Kings. I'm going to put their link right up here. The venue for the Boston Spartan Super is on an active dairy farm, Carter and Stevens Farm. It's a great location. They actually have a brewery at the very entrance to the farm. This year, they seem to have resolved the parking situation from last year. Last year, cars were lined up for miles trying to park, and this year, people had no issues. I didn't see any problems with people parking when I was coming into the event or even when I was leaving the event. Overall, the venue is what you would expect. Sponsors, tons of porta potties, places to fill up your hydration pack, food, beverages, adult beverages, and of course, merchandise. The Boston Spartan Super up in Barre, Massachusetts just can't catch a break weather-wise. Last year it rained horribly and it was a complete washout. This year, the week before, there was inches and inches of water and the course itself was crazy with mud. I lucked out in that it didn't start raining until I'd actually headed home around 1:30, 2 o'clock. But once the skies opened up, it didn't let up until probably noon the next day. So that course started off muddy, and I can't imagine what it looked like on Sunday afternoon. The course clocked in at 8.3 miles. It was super flat, all things considered, and like I mentioned, it was a mud fest from start to finish. The way that they spaced out the obstacles, they put a few very easy obstacles in the first 2 miles. So it was almost like a 2-mile jog. It wasn't until mile 5 and 6 that things started to pick up, and then they crammed almost every upper body and forearm driven obstacle at the end. So rope climb, bucket brigade, twister, and just as a side note, what I didn't realize when I did twister is that some of the handles, some of the rows actually have these really crappy grips that are loose and they're meant to protect your hand, but they actually make gripping the handles much, much harder. So if you guys are doing twister, be aware not all of the rows will actually have those crappy grips on them. So look for the bare metal grips. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot easier. Save yourself the trouble. Also, they had Mount Olympus, the Herculean hoist, and a number of other just brutal forearm taxing obstacles that made for a long last 2 miles of the race. The race was fun. We had a blast. There were over 6 water stops, so there was plenty of situations to rehydrate. 2 comments I'm going to add in about the obstacles. First, I get why they had to put a ton of the harder, more difficult obstacles all crammed together. I get that. You have equipment you have to deal with, photographers, spectators, etc. But I will say as a competitor, it was really frustrating. I'm not in the best of shape, and any chance I had of trying to tackle a number of those obstacles without doing burpees was really out the wall after I just was taxed on the first few. So I know some people had no difficulty whatsoever, but I know for myself, I was really hurting on those last couple. I just couldn't get the blood out of my hands. I couldn't loosen up my grip enough to finish as strong as I wanted on some obstacles that I know I've done well on in the past. And secondly, I did not see one new obstacle from last year. It was almost every identical obstacle that they had from the previous year. So I don't know if Spartan has decided to not pursue new obstacles or if the expense of adding in new obstacles was just too high. But that's one thing I noticed, that there was no newness to these obstacles. It was almost identical to the previous year's race in terms of specific obstacles on the course. One of the standout things that I noticed were the photographers. Not only were they on the course at a number of key locations, so you're guaranteed to get some good photos during the race. And of course, there's a photographer as you jump over that last obstacle, that fire pit. But they added an extra set of photographers at the very end, so that once you got your medal on you, they had a great Spartan backdrop, so you could get a nice professional Spartan photo at the end, and you didn't have to run to the bag check to actually get your cell phone out and try to snap some selfie of some sort. So I thought that was an improvement. That was something that was new that I've seen, and something I'm hoping they'll keep for races to come. When you finish the race, of course, you get protein bars, tons of body armor, energy drinks, and you get the finisher medal. Now, this is similar to previous years where it is heavy. It is a nice design, and of course, you get the little trifecta wedge if you are going for your Spartan trifecta. Also, they got the t-shirts. Now, this t-shirt seems a little bit thinner than the previous year's t-shirts, but it is double-sided. So you've got the front side, and you've got the back side. Quality-wise, it seems up there. No complaints about this. I've certainly gotten worse finisher's shirt, and we'll see how this holds up in the wash. The beer this year was Amstel Light, and that may not be your favorite beer, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that it came in a can rather than a plastic keg cup. While I was out at the Spartan Super, I tried to hand out as many of these No Fate 24/7 stickers as possible, and I got to hand out a number of them. But because many people were trying to get to and from their race, and most people didn't want to talk to the random stranger in a soaking wet and muddy Spartan costume, I didn't get to hand them all out. So if you are interested in the No Fate 24/7 sticker for free, all you need to do is be a subscriber, message me your address, and I will get these to you for free. I really had an absolute ball at the Boston Spartan Super this year. I thought it was an excellent training preparation race for the Killington, Vermont Beast as I try to ramp up my training for September's race. If you are interested in seeing all of the obstacles in order in HD, then just click on this link. I'm going to put it right here. That's going to be all the obstacles. If you've done the Boston Spartan Super before, whether this year or previous years, let me know in the comments below what you thought about it, if you liked it, if you disliked it. If you've come this far in the video, then definitely give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back. The No Fate channel is dedicated to providing you with ideas on how to improve your community at home, your community in your neighborhood, and your community in your town. I'll also be giving you insight into this dad's tricks, trips, and tribulations.